Hey everyone, Andy Hall here with Big Zeb. When we were just talking about self-care and about how important it is, and how I find myself just putting out fires a lot of the time and not really doing as much as I can um, for myself, I guess. Right? Is that what I'm saying? I think that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's easy. We have all these to-do lists in our head. I remember I had a banking.
Yes, right?
Hey, it's John Hudson.
I think that's what I'm
Hi,
saying.
John.
Good
You with
morning.
us? Good morning, John Hudson.
Good to see you, man. Uh, I remember when I was working for a publisher, I had like days in a row where I just wanted to get to a bank and sort out one banking issue,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do it because I was always somewhere else doing
Yep.
something.
Yeah. If you got a 9 to 5 job and you're trying to
Mm,
do something like adulty, like just buy
mm,
groceries, then you're either doing it after work or you're doing it on the weekend, or you gotta, yeah, it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. That's what it is.
sure is.
Um, my banking thing kind of freaks people out. I'll be out there digging out in the backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning. They wonder what the fuck's going on.
Mm,
You know, John
yeah.
Hudson, I'm just gonna do this as a public service announcement. Look, everyone, if you're just burying your money, then because of inflation, especially with how high inflation is right now, you're probably losing money. Um,
Well, there's no interest to be made in the bank.
no, this is true. Our friends in Europe have been having negative interest rates for quite a while now,
Oh, that's dangerous.
and
Coffee,
so yeah.
coffee can money's always good money. I'm just,
Mm.
Oh, I'm with you. I've had coffee can money. What's up, D Parks? And if anything, I got a little bit of mattress money too. Got a little bit of, a little bit of mattress
not
money
just money's good too.
because you never know when you have to flee the country. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
But the important thing is to never tell anyone about it
no,
because uh, your kid or your wife or your husband happens to mention it in passing,
yeah.
and then it gets passed around, and then comes the home invasion. And
Well,
that has happened more often than
uh,
people like
no,
to.
no. That's a good point, Big Zebra. That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you'd have trouble entering the compound to begin with.
Well, you got
Uh, mm,
you got animals, John Hudson. You got dogs,
yes,
right? I
Yep.
can hear a
there's
dog
one of
in the
them
background.
now.
Yeah. Is there a way to pray to get Mike Gates diabetes? I could, yeah, yeah, that would be nice if there. Yeah, I would sacrifice a chicken. I can hear my own voice from someone.
From John Hudson, I believe.
John Hudson.
Me?
The Yeah, you have both browsers open to the back
No,
room and
I got StreamYard open. Is the only thing I've got open.
okay. Well, then I'm wrong. Hi, Tobin.
Tobin Templeman.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
By the way, I wanted to mention Matt Gates and that picture you had of him, and it
Yeah.
occurs to me that I've seen him wearing those awful sports jackets before, and it reminds me of a book I wrote called "Awaken the Used Car Salesman Within," and just these tasteless sports coats that are garish.
Yeah,
You can find it on Amazon, but it is out of print, of course.
he's
Oh,
got
I'm
the
looking for it
matching.
right now.
He's
You know
got
what? I'll send you the link. It's okay. Yeah,
No, I see it right now.
yeah,
Actually,
it's a red cover.
it is a
Uh,
red cover.
oh, look, I managed to talk about myself again.
Hey, what is that? A plug? That was like a stealth plug. That's what that
Thank
was.
you. But
and
that is really amazing, those clothes, because I'm sure he's done that before with really bad clothing.
Yeah, yeah. How are you doing, Tobin?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. I'm disturbed by Matt Gates, though. That's messed up to make it difficult for people who have
well,
health issues.
if
Yeah.
16-year-old girls gave you diabetes, he'd be in trouble.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel so ashamed. I haven't thought of that joke, John Hudson.
Well done, Mr. Hudson.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You're welcome to use it.
I just might.
Do
Mhm.
it.
Speaking of diseases and stuff, why is it that we don't have a decent cure for herpes yet? So many people have it, and so much suffering is going on just because it doesn't kill you.
Oh, Samuel was just in the chat, but I mean in the background, but he floated out. I don't know. Maybe an mRNA, one of those vaccines technology, will help resolve it.
Well, it might make you. Would it remove the virus from your system, if you know what I mean?
I have no idea. What's up, 420?
Sammy.
Sammy,
Greetings all.
love that
Greetings.
voice.
420.
How are we?
Then we are doing well.
I'm hearing
Yeah,
echoes.
there's a-
I think from Sam, you got some echoes going on over there.
Oh, I can hear the echo.
Oh, so that means the
It
person
might have
who
been me
doesn't-
temporarily.
Oh,
For some reason, my browser went crazy.
oh, wow.
Yeah, seems to have gone.
Little
I'm loving
fault.
your latest video, Tobin.
Yeah, that's good, Tobin.
That was fun.
Really good.
Mm.
Thank you. That was yeah, I can't wait to get to do some more. I want to work with some other people. I want to take some time to like make a song with Sammy and
Yes.
some other individuals in the community as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
music,
Atheist music.
I
Okay, so
really,
now the echo is getting worse, and it's starting
Yeah,
to
it
drive
was
me
hard for me
crazy.
to think.
I'm
So-
gonna go around
I
turning
think
off
that
my
I
various
think that was
browsers.
420. I think that might have been 420 with the echo, because I don't hear it now.
Mm.
Now it's back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now it's
I'm
gone.
closing all my browsers
I don't
except
think it's
for
using.
the
I
except for the
420
backyards.
just- I think Sammy might just be in a cave somewhere. That's all.
Could be. There he is.
It was Sammy. Yeah, he's getting some headphones, I think.
There is I wanted to mention the music you had on the background, and
Yeah.
maybe some really soft, low volume ambient music is the way to
Yeah.
go. That was like almost ambient music. It had a
Almost.
sort of tune to it.
Yeah. Well, StreamYard, it's a new service, a new perk at StreamYard. So they have certain music that you can play, and I think that was the one that was I was able to. Like I said, I was listening to it before the show actually started. And
It was faint enough that it wasn't distracting. Where
Yeah.
I've watched some YouTube videos where they're playing the music in the background, and it just like just kind of meshes all together. I have a hard time hearing it because mold.
Mm.
Well, luckily I have shit hearing, and so if it messes up my hearing,
Okay.
I imagine it would mess up everyone's hearing. What's up, 420?
Right.
Echo.
No echo. You're safe.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
See,
I don't know what
isn't
you
that
did,
funny?
but-
It's not the headphones. It's the microphone. So if I plug my Yeti in,
Yeah.
no echo.
420. You got to give us an update on this Asian woman you met on a dating website.
I haven't met her. I didn't meet her.
Oh, okay.
She's too nice. She wants to get married and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
I do have some positive news stuff. Something I don't really talk about good things that happen to me that often, but I'm going to talk about something that's good that happened. I was at a college tour yesterday, and that's why I wasn't here. My
Mhm.
kid wants to go to Mass. Well, is interested in doing art, so we went to Mass Art, which is this country's only public school art school. It's the only public art school out here, and I learned that she would be able to cross-register at other schools for certain for courses. Like she would be able to go to Emerson, which is a private school, and Simmons, which is a private school too, very highly rated, and she will be able to register for classes at those schools at the same price as she would for Mass Art. And I don't actually, I mean, I had to ask the tour guide twice just to make sure I heard it right, because it's like, what are you telling me that for a really cheap amount of money, my kid's going to be able to go down the street and take a class over at Simmons or Emerson. And
Nice.
yeah, it's like, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
By the way, Dr. Hall, if your daughter is a talented artist,
Hmm.
I have some friends of mine who are very good friends until I was transferred to the status where they only call me when they need help moving.
Oh, yeah.
But one of them is really a talented artist who got into being able to draw things on a computer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's a big deal now,
A big
drawing
deal.
stuff for the Wall Street Journal or any
Really?
newspaper in the world. Yes, because they always need illustrations.
Right.
And so there's a weird prison break involving helicopters. So she draws the map of the prison and the helicopter landing and things like that.
No, nice. Nice.
So lovely arts background and an immediate practical aspect that pays the bills.
Well, that's my main concern for my kid, of course, is that I don't
Yes.
want even
Medium, like what form of art?
right
Digital
now.
or-
She is basically drawing and painting and, using a variety of different mediums. And,
Excellent.
if she does get into the film industry, it would probably be through storyboarding, which is just, plotting out different shots of a film. And so she's voiced interest in that. But yeah, she just creates, she just draws like I make shitty jokes. It's just all the time.
That's great.
And her material's far better than mine. So yeah.
So she has ideas or ideas?
She has the proper ideas. That's how we say it here, the proper way. With the
Yeah.
R,
Yes, yes.
Simply Secular Dave says Christians often accuse atheists of eating babies. They never accuse atheists of being involved in. No, yeah, well, that's a good point, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish school was more accessible. I really do.
Yeah. You know
Oh,
what I
and
did?
cooking that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got, there's a lot of things, as I'm going, and this isn't just the only tour that we're going to be doing, but, as I am doing this, you would think it would make me feel good, but there's you might be surprised at this, but I just get angry at a lot of things that you don't think a normal person would get angry at. And maybe I'm not a normal person. I don't know. But so, I never had anyone walk me through the process. I had to I'm sorry. Yellow card for Andy. I had to figure it all out on my own. Yellow. I'm trying to find the yellow card right now.
Hey, when you do it, you can't find the yellow. Oh, there it is.
See how that happens. But yeah, so yeah, even though I feel good that I'm able to assist shepherding my kid through the process, it's like I think I'm a little angry. I think I'm just a little angry.
I remember as a kid, as a university kid, I got my schedule and I went to it and they had codes to make it easier to print out the schedule.
Mhm.
And I said, on what day is denoted by the letter R? And it was the letter R to tell me what day my class was on. And it turned out, because of the problem of Tuesdays and Thursdays, Thursdays was denoted by the letter R, and they didn't have the thought to print this on the schedule anywhere.
It was just assumed.
Yes, that you would know. And I just, but so you want to spend a lot of time going, what? Huh? What? Huh? It was infuriating.
Yeah.
What kind of psychopath assumes means Thursday?
Yes.
There are some
What
things
kind
that
of
are done
monster?
in Texas that they'll be asking a question and it's just like a yes or no question. And but they word it so badly that you get afraid that you're gonna choose the wrong answer. Or not giving you enough information. Like with driver's license over here, like they have a list of things that you're supposed to bring, but
Yeah.
there's some things that are missing off of that list.
Bastard.
It's just like, damn it.
Don't you know you need to know your blood type to get a license?
Mm. Man,
Well,
I always get
Sorry to
caught up with the yes, I didn't, no, I did.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do? Go to school or take a lunch?
That back during Jim Crow law, when Jim Crow was happening, between I don't know after the Civil War to the Voting Rights Act, there'd be questions that people at the polls, officials at the polls would ask people who were black, and one of those questions was, and I remember this from my class in college: how many bubbles are there in a bar of soap?
None.
Well, anything that you add,
man.
any answer is the wrong answer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry,
someone's.
you don't get to vote today.
You don't get to vote today. That's right, D. Parks. Christianity at its beginning is incestuous. Yeah.
But D Parks, the sex was fantastic. Really talking A shelf.
Red card.
I just thought that was mildly funny. It's weird when
That's funny.
when you just say something silly that you think people will smile at.
Well, you don't know what's funny until you actually say it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm gonna let my cat in. Biscuit's really crying at the door. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh no,
All right.
poor Biscuit.
That F-bomb was totally appropriate too there with that.
What F-bomb?
You dropped an F-bomb.
I did?
Yes, you
You
did.
didn't realize.
I didn't. I said
No, you did.
forget that the sex was A shelf. It was fantastic.
There was a letter.
But you put
there
an
was a
F
letter, but
in
it
front of
wasn't A.
fantastic.
Yeah, effing fantastic.
Really? I'm gonna have to watch this again. Wow. It just snuck in there. I'd be a bad TV guest, at least on network TV.
Well, they have
No,
like
it
a second.
was very subtle.
Yeah, very subtle. Very subtle.
Oh, okay. It was a subtle
The
effort.
joke took away from the joke took all away. It was you didn't even notice it because the joke was so funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Hudson. Oh, Lordy. Mm. The any news from Australia for us, 420? Uh-oh.
Sorry, I just went back to that joke.
Oh yeah, whenever anyone talks about some bad sexual activity, you always mention that the sex though was really good. Louis C.K. did that, oddly enough. He did a stand-up act where he was saying, these weird pedophiles that go out and they have sex with children and then they get arrested and put in jail forever?
That is really funny.
That sex must be really good to
Yeah.
risk it. I'm not saying I approve of it. I'm just saying,
Yeah, he. No, that was before the difficulties. That was before the
Yes.
difficulties. Yeah.
And he won a Grammy. Good for him.
Yeah.
My biggest concern isn't that he would drop his drawers and yank it out, but there are also rumors that when people complained, he tried to ruin their careers.
Oh yes, that happened
Yeah.
on a number of occasions. Pete Davidson from SNL. I think he did his last stand-up special specifically so he could tell that story, because the rest of his stand-up special wasn't that great. But then he closed on this hilarious story about Louis C.K. complaining that Pete was smoking too much weed on SNL. And
Really?
yeah. So not only is Louis C.K. a weird person that asks women if he can jack off, but he's also a snitch. He's also a snitch.
Ooh.
Do you know what Sarah Silverman did to Louis C.K.?
What?
Well, Louis C.K. would drop his drawers and yank it out. and Sarah Silverman would cheer him on.
That's great. I can see Sarah doing that.
And that's hilarious. Just saying,
Yeah.
folks,
Actually,
you gotta be careful. There are kids in the room.
Nathan Timmel, who's one of the comedy writers on Only Sky, he has a story about Louis C.K. being a jerk, to him when Louis C.K. was just starting out. And so, yeah, it seems like the guy's just, trash. I mean, in terms of his, character as a person.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Someone that's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I've
He's been
never heard
around.
of him.
I can honestly say I don't know who he is. Never seen him.
That's good.
He's incredibly talented guy, really funny, a great performer, good filmmaker too, and
good writer.
Great writer. But he is, just like a lot of artists, man, and especially a lot of
piece of shit human.
It's just horrible people, horrible person.
Lordy.
And
They
likes
make
to
the
expose
best
himself.
artists, though, don't they?
What's that, John Hudson?
And he likes to expose himself.
Yeah.
More than just that.
Yeah, he likes to
in
Laugh.
front of the ladies.
Laugh at him. Tell him looks like a penis. A lot smaller though.
I don't want to. I'm going to ruin Pete Davidson's joke. All right. So Pete Davidson talks about how Louis C.K. ratted on him because Pete was smoking pot to Lorne Michaels, the person who runs the show, Saturday Night Live, and of course Lorne Michaels doesn't give a crap about Pete
Marijuana.
About marijuana. Yeah, they were doing coke back in the 70s and 80s during the writers, in writers.
They were doing everything. Those people were wild.
Yeah. So Pete, ends the bit. And once again, I'm ruining it. So if you haven't seen the special, and if you are going to see the special, then you should shut this show off right now. But so Pete said, if women only knew that, then they should have just started smoking marijuana when he started, taking out his dick. And
They should have taken out their phones and taken pictures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a couple of conversations with men and women about it, and it's about coercion, right? Even though Louis C.K. did officially ask them if he could take it off and jack off, it's like, come on, dude, that's coercion right there. If you're
that's wrong.
Yeah.
Man. And it sort of spoils the whole concept of hand jobs, because that's the joy is that it's so gratuitous that someone else gives you a hand job. It's a delightful activity. But if you're just going to do it yourself, it's sort of like DIY sex. It's wrong.
Yeah, just wait till you get home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't wait, John. Self-care.
Indeed.
Sorry, that was a conversation killer right there.
And
What's
we'll
that?
see you tomorrow.
So I was wondering if it would be possible to make a difference in the U.S. Political scene by lifting a trick out of the British handbook of dealing with Nazis.
Go on.
And well, when the British wanted to really mess with Nazi government and politics, so they created a fake ham radio operator who spoke in German with a really, he was a natural German speaker. And if you were in Germany or the occupied territories, you could tune in to this guy who was a fervent Nazi, just a complete Nazi fanatic. And he would get on the radio and berate the Nazi party for not being Nazi enough. and he would talk about all the dirt on, so and so was a pedophile, so and so was a drunk, and sometimes the stuff would even be true. But to provide cover, he'd also say terrible things about Churchill, calling him a pederast.
Right.
And so it was part of the smokescreen.
Sure.
So,
well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So what if on Twitter you go and create a Twitter account that's conservative as all hell, Facebook account conservative as all hell, joins all the conservative things, and then that account starts criticizing conservatives for not being conservative enough.
I don't even think you have to go like full Nazi on this, because you look at Stephen Colbert when he was doing the Colbert Report. There were a lot of conservatives who thought he was for real.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
Yeah.
With my new look, I find people are talking conservative politics to me more than before. I guess I got the look of the modern day conservative.
Oh yeah, John, you got.
You have a pickup truck.
Oh, do I got a pickup truck?
Well, that's the thing, white men in pickup trucks being angry about the government.
That's the thing, though. They assume you are one of them. Like when you're like out in society, out over here, like, and you hang out with a group of people, they would just start talking to you like as if, you are.
No,
one
I told
of them.
you the
It's
whole
strange.
story about. I got like a bunch of story of white people acting badly. I told you about the excuse me, at the bus stop about my then neighbor warning about the yellow peril about people moving into our neighborhood, and she was just talking to us because it's like, hey, we're all white here, right? We can say these things. It's like, I don't think so. I don't. I didn't have my cards with me, but now I'm ready. Now I'm ready.
They wouldn't get the card reference because they don't watch soccer or football.
This is true.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just have a yellow card. It's like with the yellow card, and then the other side would be F off.
Yeah. Put a flag on the play. Yellow flag.
Yeah, throw a flag.
Yeah.
They might get that.
Or have an umpire's mask that you can put on and be like, take off and be like, you're out of here.
You're out.
Someone I know had a sort of brooch. It was plastic, but it had the words panic button on it. And there was a white button, and if you pressed it, up came a flag that said the words get lost. So you could press it, and this thing would come up, and she could just tell people to get lost with it.
T Parks, I'm sorry to hear this, D. I got a coworker that has all the cherry picked Bible quotes scrolling on one of her screens. Boo.
How about your own? You could have one that says Jesus hates you.
You're going to hell.
30s.
She's in her 30s, divorced, childless, and sleeps over at a boyfriend's place. Well, yeah, she's divorced. And that alone is reason to go to hell, right?
I think so.
I'm about to say something.
Jews could get divorced, couldn't they? I thought there was a gap.
There are, as Jesus said, if you're going with the what Jesus said rule, is that there are two reasons to get divorced. And one of them is, of course, infidelity. Or that you can get remarried. One is, of course, death, and I think one is you can get divorced because of infidelity. I believe that's the rule.
Send 2 bears to eat 42 children.
I'm sorry. What's that, John Hudson?
I said send 2 bears to eat 42 children.
Oh, well, I find sending 2 bears in takes care of a lot of problems. And
bash them against the rocks.
You're right about that.
Yes.
Think about how long it would actually take 2 bears to kill 42 children.
That's a good question.
Don't get tired.
They wouldn't have stayed there. So these bears would have had to hunt them down.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
horrific.
Mm.
And can you imagine the disease that the bear would get eating 42 children? They're nasty. You know?
Is
Wow,
that
yeah, I hadn't even
Elijah?
thought of that. I hadn't even
Elijah
thought
the
of that.
prophet was walking up a road, and kids started making fun of him because he was bald. And
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
bears
that's
came.
Yeah, there was Elisha, I think, was the bald-headed. And actually, Dragons in Genesis did an interesting analysis of that story. And it seems to be, well, once again, check out Jason, Jason's podcast, Dragons in Genesis, or message him if you're in contact with him. But he has this whole bit about, and I'm not going to try to recite it because I would not do it justice. But he does an interesting analysis of that story. And on that note, it's half an hour. I got to get ready for work.
It's been great.
It's been fun.
Heck
It's
yeah.
been great and fun.
Thank you for
Yes,
doing
sir.
this.
Guess
Zebra.
I'll go dig a ditch.
Go dig a ditch.
Mm.
Take care, everyone. Shamla hamla.
Shamala.
Shabla, blah, blah.